What's up, freaking world? Welcome back to another Stay Fresh production. My name is Justin Copeland, and on this channel we talk about all things fragrance related. Any interest in that kind of content, you are in the right place. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Join the Fresh Squad today. Increase, elevate, improve, enhance, evolve your freshness being you bringing your best self into every situation, treating people with respect and understanding, carrying yourself with elegance and class. And we use fragrance as at least the starting place for that. You'll feel it, others will smell it. Now today we have what I believe to be the 5th installment in a series that I started several months ago and have had a lot of fun putting together. It's ruffled some feathers for sure, but it has also started some very interesting conversations, and we're going to continue on today. This video might have a slightly different angle in terms of the title. We might call it like chopping block or on the chopping block or something like that. I'm not sure. Initially this series was called Overhyped. I still might keep that, so we'll see. And Overhyped is meant to get your attention. It is meant to be polarizing, but it is not what it seems. What I mean when I say overhyped, or whatever the heck I'm going to call this video, is we're focusing on several fragrances, 5 to be exact, fragrances that have gotten a lot of attention for good reason. I'm not trying to pull the shine from these fragrances. All I'm saying is that these very wonderful, very acclaimed fragrances in their genres, because of their limelight, they've stolen some shine from some other peripheral fragrances that maybe you have never heard of. But nonetheless, what's most important is that my alternatives here are simply just alternatives, and they are meant more to encourage you to just seek other fragrances, seek things outside of what everyone is talking about. They could be these alternatives here, they could be anything else that looks and sounds interesting to you, something that's going to make you stand out and feel most like yourself. That's it. So with all that being said, let's dive right into it. These are in no particular order, and once again, these are all wonderful fragrances in their own right, but I'm just trying to get some new stuff on your radar. And the first one we're talking about here is Allure Homme Edition Blanche from Chanel. Yes, I'm calling this overhyped or not. It could just be on the chopping block. And as I like to do, I'm going to describe the original here using 2 primary adjectives, and then I'm going to find an alternative that fits within those very general adjectives. So I describe Allure Homme Edition Blanche as bright and playful. It has a very bright, zingy lemon, great for the summertime, but it has this sweet creaminess that does make it quite playful. People say it smells like a fresh, creamy, spicy, woody lemon, and that is more or less what it smells like. I get that vibe here. Wonderful scent, quite unique, very difficult to find. Discounted, you're going to be paying $100 or more for this fragrance in most places. So an alternative that I have for you is going to cost a fraction of the price. I'm pretty sure you can get this thing under $40, possibly significantly less, and this is coming from Lolita Lempicka, and this is called Green Lover. I've talked about this one several times on my channel this year, and this stuff is really special. It's really beautiful. Now, Green Lover I also would describe as quite bright and playful. It's actually more orange in a way. There is some mint in here which brings a freshness, but you do have orange in here, which is a brightness in here, but there is a beautiful kind of sweet vanilla in here that makes it quite creamy, similar to the Chanel, but they don't smell alike, but they are kind of in the same genre of citrusy fresh. Again, bringing a sweet creaminess to fill out the profile, making it, in my opinion, more playful, maybe more youthful in a way, but beautiful quality here and quite unique. Smells like an orange creamsicle, basically. And again, fraction of the price. Highly recommend checking out Green Lover from Lolita Lempicka. Gonna have links down below. Okay, up next we have a beloved scent. Before you get upset, just remember what I said at the beginning. I'm not saying these fragrances are bad. I'm just trying to put new stuff on your radar. Green Irish Tweed. Great fragrance. Classic from the 1980s. Again, from the House of Creed here. Green, fresh, dewy in a way, kind of watery. I describe Green Irish Tweed as clean and classy. Very clean smelling scent. Some people say it smells quite soapy, like Irish Spring or something like that. Totally get that vibe here. But it has a classiness. It's something that you would easily wear dressed up. stands the test of time. Wonderful fragrance, well composed, great quality, lots of depth here. But I do have a great alternative for you. This is also clean and classy, but I think with a little bit more kick to it. Not quite as green, honestly, but there is a slightly green woody facet to this from Ombre. This is called Lunar Vetiver. One of my top favorites from the house. As per the name, it is based on vetiver. You have a lot of pimento pepper when you first spray this on. It is so intensely spicy and warm, but immediately behind it there is this classy green fresh woodiness that makes it so you could wear it in similar occasions as you would wear green Irish tweed. I would dress this up. You could also dress it down similar to GIT. Honestly, one of my favorite vetiver fragrances to date. And it actually dries down beautifully in kind of a similar facet as green Irish tweed, which gets kind of creamy with sandalwood as it dries. This has vanilla or tonka bean, one of the two, if not both, as it dries down, which brings this smooth, slightly sweet quality that sits within the woodiness, sits within the spicy freshness. It is simply stunning. Highly recommend this stuff if you haven't heard of it. Check them out at the link down below. That is Ombre Lunar Vetiver. Okay, this is also going to make some people upset, but once again, classic scent. From Amouage, we have Jubilation 25 Man. Now, as you can see, the text of the fragrance is actually on the front of the bottle, which is a relatively new design for some of the newer formulations that you'll find from Amouage. This particular one has been reformulated. It is quite light. It is lighter than I actually remember it being when I had a sample years ago. I might get a good 6-7 hours out of it. It sits very close to the skin. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing because the scent profile is quite dense and quite potent and quite different. And honestly, when I first smelled it years ago, I can't say I actually liked it more than I like this. I appreciated it being so present because it was so powerful, but I think it actually does benefit from being a little bit less in your face here. But anyway, what you get out of Jubilation 25 is a very, very complex mix of elements here. I'm describing Jubilation 25 as elegant and bold. You get a lot of blackberry. You have a lot of oud here, and the oud here, to be quite honest with you, for lack of a better term, it's a little bit on the rubbery side. It smells kind of dark and rubbery, almost tarry in a way, but it is mixed beautifully with maybe some honey in here. There's a nice kind of rich but not too sweetness going on with that woodiness, maybe a little bit of freshness, maybe with some resins, lots of balsamic nature to this, maybe like myrrh or something like that. It is a regal scent, as many people say, and a lot of people love this stuff, but I want to get something newer on your radar and something that might actually be even more elegant and more bold, depending on how you feel about wearing it. And we're staying in the house of Amouage. I love this fragrance so much. A newer release from the house, maybe just a few years ago, 2019 or something is when it came out. And this is Overture, man. I've talked about it quite a bit over the past several months since I bought it. Not cheap. I think it's more expensive than Jubilation, but this stuff is a statement maker. This is a beautiful animalic, spicy, cognac, woody fragrance. There's just the right amount of sweetness, but it does not smell edible. There's some balsamic quality to this as well. It is again woody. It is very spicy. It's a bit animalic, as I said, so there's an edge to it that's kind of rough and scratchy, but really does add to the personality of the scent and that beautiful cognac. In fact, now that I think about it, the cognac is the primary source of sweetness here. Cognac is a sweeter, boozy quality, and it makes this stuff so bold, but there's an elegance to the overall profile, especially when you dress it up. It is incredible. I would wear it in the same situations as I'd wear Jubilation. This is much stronger, so keep that in mind. Be lighter on the sprays, and it's going to suit you well. It's going to really get people's attention. They may not give you compliments, to be honest, but they will remember you. That is Overture Man from Amouage. This next fragrance I'm describing as delicious and alluring. And when this came out, boy, this was just sweeping. This was leaving trails of fire behind it. People were singing its praises on all these YouTube channels, all the forums and things like that. And it is a wonderful fragrance. It is beautiful, and this is perfectly unisex coming from the house of Byron Parfum. We're talking about Moolah. Moolah delicious smelling fragrance, a fruity, kind of sweet dessert-like scent, vanilla and caramel and peach and strawberry. It's a little musky as it dries down. It is simply delicious. Some people would say it leans a little feminine, but I think men, if you're confident, if you wear this and you're trying to be playful and again alluring, maybe a bit seductive, this is something that's going to suit you well. A lot of talk about this one. Again, smells wonderful. Not knocking it, but I'm going to get something else on your radar. And this is a fragrance that you might actually be able to get a bit cheaper than Moolah. Wow, coming from another niche house called Exidolo. You don't hear much talk about them, and this one is called Love and Crime. This is created in homage to Bonnie and Clyde. This kind of smells maybe in the realm of Green Lover. This is orange, on the creamy sweet side of orange, almost dessert-like, but this is more like a warm orange cream pie or cake or something like that. Delicious smelling stuff, but there's more to it than that. There is some depth here. There's some spices going on in here, maybe some florals as well. Spicy, creamy, warm, orange, sweet cake. Again, that's what I kind of get. A little bit more particular than the Moolah, I would say, but a delicious smelling fragrance that could very well be alluring. Again, perfectly unisex. And something that you can get from my friends over at Scent City. I'm going to link them down below. One of the few places I think you can find it. You might even be able to sample it, I'm not sure, but I'll have them linked down below, so check them out. But that is Exidolo Love and Crime.
Alright, I'm about to get a ton of hate for this one.
Coming from Tom Ford, easily a community favorite. I think it's won awards as of recently, and it's a wonderful fragrance. It deserves its praise, as I've said. And this is Ombre Leather. Yes, Ombre Leather is on the chopping block here. I'm calling it overhyped. Again, not saying that it doesn't deserve praise, but it does seem to overshadow many other things as a result of its saturation of just seeing it everywhere. Again, a wonderful scent, and I'm describing it as sexy and edgy. There's an allure to it, a sexy allure. There's a sweetness in here that is alluring, that draws people in. It's inviting, but the edginess of the leather here, which is not too dark and brash like Tuscan leather. It's uncle basically, but it brings just enough allure in the air, and also it is a little bit on the potent side of things that it just kind of wraps you up. You wear this with a black leather jacket or just all black in general. It again is sexy, but there's something about it that makes you seem maybe a little bit rough around the edges, and it's a wonderful fragrance. But let's talk about the alternative. This is a fragrance that I'm pretty sure most of you have never heard of, from a house that you may have never heard of called Pantheon Roma, an Italian-based house. Oh my gosh. Now, just to let you know, this smells nothing like Tuscan leather. I should have said that at the beginning, but none of the alternatives are meant to smell like what they are replacing. They might have similarities in personality, but this makes me feel the same way I feel when I smell Tuscan leather. But this is even stronger. This is a powerful fragrance. I'm warning you now, and it is quite unique even for being quite simple. Again, from Pantheon Roma, this is called Raphael. And this is created in homage to Raphael, who was a famous painter as a part of the Italian Renaissance, as you may know. And this stuff is so incredible. I've only given it one wearing so far, but the way it was making me feel, the way it behaved in the air for like 18 hours, I kid you not, it just really captured me, and it made me feel a very similar way as I feel when I wear Ombre Leather. This is primarily based on leather as well, but also teak wood. This dry, kind of mysterious woodiness, a little bit of sweetness as well from tonka bean, and wormwood as well, which is this kind of strong, almost absinthe, herbaceous quality that is mixed so well with this dry teak wood with a slightly sweet tinge of tonka bean and a nice little bed of leather. Overall, it's a dry fragrance. Again, a strange, subtle sweetness in here, woody, a little bit herbaceous, and just so different. I have not smelled anything like this in my entire life. It is simply incredible, and again, because it's so powerful, more powerful than Ombre Leather, this stuff just creates an aura. It will get people's attention. It does have that nice edge to it. I do think it's a wonderful substitute. In terms of price, you might be looking at a little bit more for this one, but I'm going to give you a chance to try it, because we have a little travel atomizer here. They sent me several of these guys for each fragrance in their collection. And I think this is maybe 7.5 milliliters, similar to something you get from Roger Parfums. You have to be in the United States, unfortunately, for this particular giveaway. We will be doing more giveaways with the brand later that will be international, but this one is going to be US. So if you want to enter into the giveaway, you got to like this video. You of course got to be subscribed, and there's going to be an Instagram requirement to this video. You have to go over to Instagram and you have to follow Pantheon Roma, support their page.
And why don't you go ahead and follow me while you're at it?
Shoot me a message over on Instagram just to confirm with me that you're following them, and obviously leave a comment down below. Let me know why you want to try this. What about this fragrance makes you interested in trying Raphael? I'm very curious. I'm gonna have all the instructions in the description just in case you forget of how to enter into the giveaway. So that is it. That is our 5th installment here. I would love to know what you think of this whole idea of just trying to bring newness, bringing replacements or alternatives to more popular fragrances that are getting a lot of shine. Just trying to, again, bring some new things onto your radar to help you just continue to keep your fragrance journey fresh, keeping new things coming into your sphere, always looking for intrigue and interest and growth. That's what we do here on Stay Fresh Productions. So I really hope you liked the video. I do encourage you and invite you to join the Fresh Squad. Again, it's simple as clicking the subscribe button, and it costs you absolutely nothing. And thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.